You receive a call at 3 a.m. from a number that doesn't exist. The voice on the other end is worth $47 billion. Your personal phone is ringing. The one only 6 people have the number to. The caller ID shows nothing. Completely blank. A calm, emotionless voice speaks. We have a situation. How fast can you be in Geneva? You're still half asleep. You open your banking app. $500,000 just appeared in your account. That's the retainer. Just for answering the phone. The voice continues. I'll send coordinates. Bring nothing. Tell no one. You're a fixer, and your client owns more than some countries. Level 1, the legitimate handler. You're hired through a law firm as a special consultant. Your job title means nothing. Your business card is intentionally vague. The NDA you signed is 47 pages long. Ultra-high net worth individuals don't solve problems like normal people. They employ what's called a family office. Lawyers, crisis managers, private investigators, people like you. Your first jobs are small, almost boring. A DUI that needs to disappear from public record. You make 2 calls. The arresting officer gets a consultant job. The report gets filed incorrectly. Case dismissed on a technicality. A journalist is asking uncomfortable questions about offshore accounts. You arrange a meeting. You explain the cost of a defamation lawsuit. You show them what discovery would reveal about their own finances. The questions stop. A business partner is threatening to go public with inconsistencies. You don't threaten him. You offer him a consulting contract. $200,000 a year to sit on an advisory board that never meets. He takes it. Everyone stays quiet. You tell yourself this is just high-level problem solving. Executive assistance with extra steps. The problems are small. The money is large. Everything stays civil. Then your client's son kills someone in a car accident. Your phone rings at 3 a.m. Level 2, the crime scene manager. You arrive before the police report is filed. 12-minute window. The client's son is standing next to a BMW. Drunk. Shaking. The other driver is dead. You don't move the body. You don't touch evidence. But you make 3 phone calls. One to a lawyer who specializes in vehicular incidents. He's on a plane within the hour. One to a former police chief, now a private consultant. He arrives before the first patrol car. One to the family of the deceased. You offer to meet. Soon, wealthy defendants have an advantage most people don't understand. They have first responder legal teams. By the time official investigators arrive, the narrative is already shaped. The son never spends a night in jail, released on his own recognizance. The lawyer argues no flight risk. Too prominent, too connected. The settlement happens quietly. 7 figures. An ironclad NDA is part of the agreement. The family takes it. They're not wealthy. This money changes their lives. The son does community service at a charity his father funds. No trial. No jail time. No public record that's easy to find. You sleep fine that night. That's when you realize you're good at this. Level 3, the reputation assassin. A reporter is writing a story about your client's labor practices overseas. Factory conditions. Child workers. The kind of story that tanks stock prices. Your job is simple. Make the story go away. But no lawsuits. Too public. Too much discovery. You hire a corporate intelligence firm. Former intelligence operatives. Ex-Mossad. Ex-MI6. Completely legal. They call it due diligence research. They dig into the reporter's life. A DUI from college. They find a police report. A messy divorce. They find the court filings. Social media posts that can be framed as biased. A pattern of activism that compromises journalistic objectivity. Firms like Black Cube have done this for years. Harvey Weinstein hired them to intimidate the reporters investigating him. It's documented. It's legal in most jurisdictions. You don't threaten anyone. You don't need to. You have lunch with the reporter's editor. You're polite, professional. You slide a folder across the table. Inside is everything. You explain how a defamation suit would unfold. You explain what discovery would look like for their publication. You mention that your client's advertising budget is substantial. The story gets killed. The reporter gets reassigned to a different beat. You destroyed someone's career with paperwork, and it feels cleaner than it should. Level 4, the evidence eraser. Your client's business partner is about to testify in a securities fraud case. There are emails, recorded calls, transaction records. Your client doesn't ask you to destroy evidence. He never says anything explicit. He just looks at you and says, I need those files to become unreliable. You hire a team you've never met in person. Communication happens through encrypted apps that delete messages after they're read. You never know their names. They never know yours. Within 72 hours, 3 things happen. The email server suffers a catastrophic failure. Total data loss. The backup drives are corrupted. Recovery is impossible. Authenticity is now questionable in court. The whistleblower's personal laptop is hacked. Files are altered. Just slightly. Just enough. When prosecutors present the evidence, the defense tears it apart. How do we know these files weren't tampered with? The chain of custody is broken. This evidence is inadmissible. The case falls apart. No conviction. No jail time. And nobody can prove evidence tampering. You never touched anything yourself. Digital forensics experts do this legally every day. Reputation management, SEO flooding, data scrubbing, but you've crossed a line. You're not managing reputation anymore. You're obstructing justice. Your retainer goes from $500,000 to $2 million annually. You stop asking why. Level 5, the human problem solver. An employee knows too much about your client's tax evasion network. He's recently fired. Angry. Not a threat yet. But your client wants guaranteed silence. You don't hurt anyone. That's not your job. But you arrange a meeting in a country with flexible privacy laws. The employee thinks it's about a settlement. Maybe a severance negotiation. You sit across from him. You don't raise your voice. You show him photographs. His daughter's school. The route she walks home. His mother's address. His brother's workplace. You don't say anything explicit. You don't have to. Then you offer him $3 million. Sign an NDA. Relocate to Singapore. Start over. You make it clear that declining has administrative complications. He takes the money. He disappears. This happens in authoritarian regimes all the time. Russian oligarchs. Middle Eastern royals. Handlers arrange disappearances. Forced emigrations. Coerced silence. It's documented. It's real. The employee isn't hurt. He's wealthy now. Generational wealth. His family is set for life. Is that a threat or an opportunity? You become the person you would have been disgusted by 5 years ago. But you don't think about that anymore. Level 6. The offshore architect. Your client is being investigated for securities fraud. $800 million needs to move. Fast. Without triggering any alerts. You don't touch the money. You coordinate. A law firm in Panama creates 14 shell companies. Each one owns a piece of the next. Layers within layers. A banker in the Cayman Islands processes the transfers as consulting fees. A former finance minister, now a private consultant, makes calls to regulators. The investigation stalls. The money is gone. Vanish into a network of jurisdictions with no extradition treaties. The Panama Papers revealed exactly how this works. Mossack Fonseca. Hundreds of thousands of shell companies. Lawyers. Accountants. Politicians. All working together. Your cut is $12 million. Paid through a company you don't own on paper. You're not just fixing problems anymore. You're complicit in financial crimes that affect millions. Pension funds. Investors. Retirees who lost everything. But you're insulated by layers of deniability. You buy a house in the same neighborhood as your client. You attend the same parties. The same clubs. You become what you were hired to protect. Level 7. The political fixer. Your client wants a law change. Not blocked. Rewritten. A tax regulation that costs him $400 million a year. You arrange a $15 million donation to a super PAC. Completely legal. No limits. No restrictions. You hire a former senator as a consultant. $800,000 a year. He makes calls. He arranges meetings. You fund a think tank. They publish research. white papers, policy recommendations, all supporting your client's position. Within 18 months, the legislation is modified, a single clause, buried on page 94. Your client saves $400 million annually. You're invited to private dinners with people who appear on the news. You bought democracy, and it was shockingly affordable. This is how the world actually works. Lobbyists, strategic advisors, campaign contributions funneled through legal loopholes. Your client employs 50,000 people. If the law passes written, 10,000 would lose their jobs. Is buying legislation wrong if it saves livelihoods? You don't ask that question anymore. You've stopped fixing problems. You're shaping society for one person's benefit. Level 8. The hunted. A journalist contacts you. They have your name, your real name. They know about the shell companies, the deleted emails, the relocated witness. Your client's lawyer calls. The tone has changed. Cold, distant, professional. We need to discuss your future role with the organization. You realize something. You're the evidence now. Fixers who know too much become liabilities. Michael Cohen went to prison. Trump's fixer. The man who knew everything. Jeffrey Epstein's associates face investigations, prosecutions, prison time. Fixers are expendable. You have 3 choices. Cooperate with investigators. But your client has resources, and people disappear. Stay silent. Become the scapegoat. Take the fall while he walks free. Run. But you know too much. They'll find you. You chose this life for money. Now, the money is what makes you a target. Your phone rings at 3 a.m., but this time you're too afraid to answer. Somewhere right now, a young lawyer is taking a call at 3 a.m. A voice on the other end is offering $500,000. Just to listen. They think they're different. They think they'll stay clean. You thought that too.